Hey everyone, in the video yesterday I made a really big mistake, and in my infinite stupidity I forgot to explain to you about the user interface and how it is all handled or managed, etc. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, and in that respect we're going to be looking at how this sliding window is implemented, talking about the line series, the constant line, and some stuff about considerations when we are using a dark mode interface. And I think that's about it for this, for what we're going to chat about. So without further ado, let's talk about the user interface. So I've got this function here called TAChart UX. Now basically the chart is, if you look at it here, you can see some grid lines, you can see a red line there, and otherwise random values, I'll say, on the X and the Y axis. That's because there's no data associated with it, but when we do get a information or prices or temperatures, whatever we might be looking at, we want to make sure that two things, perhaps that our chart doesn't look like a flat line, and also that whatever values we see on either axis, they don't overlap each other, presentable, readable, etc. So to achieve that, what we're basically doing here is that we're going to set the grid lines that you see, that's the to a dashed. As far as the left axis is concerned, we're going to have two decimal places. Also, we tell it that we're going to use nice steps, and it's the nice steps which ensures that the display of the values, like I said, don't overlap each other or assist in that manner. Then on the bottom axis, what we're using is a date time interval chart source, and we're giving it a minute format of hour, minute, and we're also telling it how many and what steps and minutes we're using, or what our steps are in relation to the steps there. With the line series, we basically are going to set its pen width to 2. We're making it a bit bigger than 1. You'll find that a lot of time you may spend playing around with the user interface to get it to present how you want it to, so that the lines are not too thin or too fat or are the right color. So the business logic is something you can sort of like set and forget, but when you are looking at the user interface, these things can become critical, or not some important, we'll say, not critical. And also the use of, let's say, a plain green or red, may not work on a dark background, and so you therefore have to try to find a shade of green or red in order for it to work. Now, as far as the x-axis is concerned, we're using a 2-hour window, and we basically use the extents of the chart, that's EXTENT, of the minimum and maximum value, and we tell it that we're going to be using these values to control what gets displayed on the x-axis. And that's our initial setup basically done, as far as the setting up the x and the y axis, etc. When we do get our first price value, though, what we are going to do is to set the constant line to be the opening price, and that you see as that red line on the chart when it runs. Now the next issue you might find is that, well, if I'm showing 2 hours worth of information, what happens if I get a value that comes in, let's say, after 2 hours, or what happens when the price moves up or down such that it will appear outside the boundary of my upper limit. So in that scenario there, what we will do is here we are looking at our price first of all. So what we're going to basically say is, if our chart ends there and our value is going to be here, what we're going to do is to add on another percent onto the current price, and if that value is greater than our current maximum, then we make our new maximum to be equal to that price plus that margin there. So it'll gives it time to grow a little bit before it needs to resize the whole chart again. In a similar manner, if it drops off the end, then basically what we're going to say is that our new minimum would be the price less that percentage. Now I probably I'm correct here. Then if we do need to, if our minimum or maximum has been updated, then we will just invalidate the chart and tell it to use our minimum and maximum values again. So here now, so that's how the chart gets to move up and down depending on the new price information that comes in. In relation to the time values, so it can slide in 2 hours, if we do get that value that comes in, let's say a bit later on, then basically we work out our current window width being the maximum minus the minimum, and then we'll basically take the new maximum being the current time plus another percentage of the window length, and doing that way we can then shuffle the chart along. And also when we are doing that, we do also need to update our minimum so that the duration of the what you're seeing remains constant. And then, as I said, the when we are looking at the chart, if I can just switch back to here, down on the bottom here you can see a price, and it's currently just, let's say, a greyish colour because I'm not setting it there. But when the program runs, it may appear in either a salmon colour or a greenish colour. You can see here that it's going up and it's got 102, and that's in that slight green colour. And that's all handled here. If we were to use, let's say, a straight green or a straight red, it can be difficult to read, depending on how far you are away from the screen. So to make it easier to see, we need to look at colours which are shades of green or shades of red that may that are more visually pleasing to for the end user. And as I said before in this video, that we spend a lot of time on the user interface to make sure it's just how we want it to be. And it's all like what changes that project into a product that's usable. And modern Pascal, or Lazarus in this instance here, or even Delphi, gives us the tools to be able to do this. We can play with the, if we look at the chart here, we can double click on the, we can add a series to it quite easily. When we are looking at a series, let's go into one of these series here. We can look at the line pen and we can change its color, its width, etc. By just modifying the properties there. We've got access to the axes and their color or size or font, and so on. So we don't have to do everything by code, but sometimes code may be a little bit easier to work with. The only thing though that I haven't mentioned with all of this is that some of the colors that we might be using here, and I'm talking about the greens and the reds and so on, is that if your user is colorblind, then you may need to look at some alternate colors to work with, because sometimes green and red can just appear like a mess. The other thing also which I did forget to mention is that the reason why I've included this constant line here to show that opening price is because otherwise your line chart just becomes a squiggle, and what was its reference point, especially when you do slide a little bit further along there. So these little considerations, as again make something that is usable, perhaps into something that is much better than usable and provides the user with real information which they can work with. So what I'm trying to say in this particular video is to think about your user and their needs and wants. So I hope that you got something from this particular video, and until next time, happy coding, and I'll see you on the other side, and bye.